Robin Carnahan is the new nominee for Administrator of the General Services Administration. If the Senate confirms her, she'll lead all of the agency's acquisition priorities. Larry Allen's president of Allen Federal Business Partners, writing about GSA priorities in his Week Ahead newsletter. Larry, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming on. It's a benefit here, isn't there, that Robin has been inside GSA. You're listing 3 challenges facing that administrator. The first you write about is coordinating GSA's technology and service portfolio. What's the potential challenge there?
Francis, the potential challenge there is both of these portfolios are now growing substantially, and you want to keep that growth going. There are 2 challenges inside of that. One is, how do you make sure that the follow-on contracts, the follow-on programs that are popular with your customers today remain popular when you put them in place? New programs do not automatically spur loyalty, so you want to make sure that whatever you're putting in place to build on your success, in fact, does just that. It builds on your success. And the second part is that you want to make sure that everybody inside GSA understands that they're all pulling on the same oars. Everybody's going in the same direction. Anytime you get 2 really competitive groups, there may be a tendency for one to try to outdo the other. And so one of the things that Robin Carnahan is going to have to do is to remind everybody, hey, we all wear GSA shirts. We're all working to serve our common customer. Let's make sure that we do it in such a way where we're all on the same team.
The second item that you write about, Larry, is, you put it this way: managing all of GSA's seemingly competing acquisition methods. Maybe sorting out some of that competition is a noble goal for the next GSA administrator.
Well, I think it's going to be a big challenge, Francis. GSA inside the Federal Acquisition Service has the Multiple Award Schedules program. It has GWAC programs. It has some separate indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts. It also has a requisition channel that it uses to meet a lot of internal agency needs. And now it has the GSA e-marketplace program, the pilot that Congress mandated it set up for low-dollar commercial item buys. Each of these programs have their place in government acquisition. Each of them have their proponents inside GSA, but each of them also have people inside GSA who aren't so sure that the program over here isn't really going to try to eat up their program over there. And that can lead to some tension inside the agency, some competition for resources, and really, I can do it better than they can. What do we need this program for anyway? So another challenge that Robin is going to have is making sure that each of these programs meet the swim lanes that they are designed to meet, that they meet them well, that they're adequately resourced, and that they're serving the constituents they're supposed to conserve. And if any of them aren't meeting their needs, then they either need to be fine-tuned, readdressed, or reconsidered.
I appreciate the symmetry of your list, Larry, because you chose one. Basically, you chose one for the policy shop, you chose one for FAST, and you chose one for PBS, the 3 major pieces of GSA. And the one that you chose for PBS is dealing with expiring commercial leases and a downsizing federal office footprint. Is that more the purvey of the PBS commissioner, whoever that person is?
Well, it certainly is going to be the line level purview of the PBS commissioner, Francis, but inevitably the administrator of GSA spends most of, lately, her time working on public building service matters. The public building service portfolio inside GSA is so much larger than the acquisition portfolio, and it's arguably even higher profile because it's dealing with commercial real estate, federal real estate that are in many different states, many different congressional districts. So it gets the attention of Congress. No GSA administrator can survive a tenure at the agency without satisfactorily addressing public building service issues. And with all of the leases set to expire, and they're currently expiring now, Robin Carnahan's going to have a lot to manage and a lot to oversee, and it's going to be coming at a very unpredictable time. when you have federal workforces that have been working remotely. Now some of them are going to start to come back in and work in person, but how many are going to do that? And how often are they going to be in an office? And then what's the physical construct of that office environment going to look like? Francis, for the next little while, this type of public building service management and lease management is going to look a little bit like rocket science.
You and others have suggested that political appointees should choose 3 things at most to try to move during their tenures. I'll take these 3 things as the things that Robin Carnahan, that you recommend that she would take on. What shouldn't she prioritize? What are things that she can leave aside or leave to others?
Well, Francis, I think given Robin's background, she did state and local government IT work at 18F, GSA's innovative acquisition arm, when she was in the agency the last time around. She's just coming from Georgetown University, where she's led a software initiative for state and local government common acquisition. I think there's going to be a tendency to try to harmonize, from the GSA point of view, federal, state, and local government technology acquisition. I would urge Robin to resist that temptation. My history, my experience in this has shown me that anytime GSA shows up with an innovative acquisition solution for a state and local government agency, those state and local governments tend to look very suspiciously at their federal brethren, and they're kind of very hesitant to take on a recommendation from a federal agency head. It probably was one thing, Francis, for a Georgetown University academician to put forth a recommendation on state and local software use. It's going to be something entirely different for the head of a federal agency, even though the message technically may be much the same. My recommendation to Robin is you're going to have plenty of other things to do. You don't need to worry about state and local government using GSA tools. They already do it to a certain extent. And if you try to press it too much, I think you're going to run into a fairly hard wall in a lot of different places. You can expend those same resources in other places inside the agency and actually get some definitive progress.
Larry Allen, thanks very much as always.
Thank you, Francis.